I'm gonna turn to the left, and this is the final direction that I need to go. This is the last place. I have all 3 of the fake gems that I need. Alright. Oh, I have 2. What's happened to the other one?
And that's what happened. It looks like this was Morgana's plan to get into our time. And I do believe I saw Avalon, the final resting place of King Arthur. It was a floating island in the sky. Probably the most beautiful place I'll ever see in my life.
Isn't it an island in the mist, surrounded by water somewhere here on Earth?
I don't know. The only thing I do know is that I never saw so much magic in my life. Merlin didn't want to say much. I had a feeling he just wanted to get out of there. He was present all the time, as a keeper of the castle. But at the end, I was able to bring him to life with summon. He hid in one of the towers of the castle. Of course, we'll never know what would have happened if I hadn't defeated Morgana.
And what is this for?
According to the book, this is a secret Arthur's armor. It is all well explained in the book. There were 6 pieces of it, and this is the correct position of how they should be if you put them all together.
So what now? It looks like you've collected all of them.
I have no idea, but it's the only thing I could bring from the castle. Everything else simply vanished. There is also a place for Arthur's sword, which I had to put into the rock to break the magic barrier of the castle, so I was able to escape. And which I got back from the underwater ruins near Topaz Island. That was its location in the present. You know what is the best part of all this? That in the ruins I found also this cup, which I believe is the Holy Grail which everybody is looking for.
And you didn't tell me this?
I wasn't sure until now, but I think I know where it should go.
What's up, everybody? Badass Games, welcome back to King Arthur Project. Today, we're in a secret level called Magic Garden. It's the secret level demo. And now, you wouldn't be in this level had you not found the Excalibur and the Holy Grail, apparently, quote-unquote, from the last level, okay? Those items are needed in order to progress further into this game, okay? The game would have ended at that point, and the mystery wouldn't be solved unless you would have done that, and then that would bring you to this level. And it's actually a demo of another TRLE. And I don't know, there's something about this Lara that really resonates with me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I know this person. Anyway, it says here, it says, warning, don't use Alt F4. That's something that we should already kind of know about. I've experimented with Alt F4 and other TRLEs, and basically what it says is correct. You have the music continues playing. You got to actually shut it down. You got to force it from the task manager. Of course, if you're not too computer savvy, that's a little difficult, so just remember to use the menus to leave, and if you're not computer savvy, you're probably not using Alt F4 anyway. Alright, so anyway, here we are in the Magic Garden, and yeah, Lara got wings. If you remember at the end of the last video, she got struck, she was about to touch the armor, and then she got struck and brought back to here, so this is where we're at now, so she's like dreaming or whatever. Anyway, in our inventory, we start off with a couple of things. We start off with 2 things of dark matter, and if we also inspect our inventory a little further, you see we still have the armor, which is of no use. We have binoculars, we have flares, some of our med packs, actually all of our med packs, and we also have this large water skin. Now, I'm not sure if this is a bug or something, but it looks just like her skirt or whatever, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm not sure if you have this in your inventory. If you do have this, keep note of that, because that's going to be come in handy. Of course, you don't need it, so I'll show you what you need to do if you don't have it. Alright, so this is what's important, though, is this is what's going to get us out of this little square area. We just use some dark matter on these receptacles. And, yep, put the balls into the mouths, and then we're going to leave. Both these gates are going to open, and we're going to go out into the main area. Now, this level, you know, while as interesting as it looks, is actually there's actually got some really, it got a really cool puzzle, and it's not a very long one either, guys. It's a pretty short level, but yeah, okay, so after you leave, I've looked looked around, I couldn't find anything. This is the only way you need to go if you don't have that large water skin like I do in my inventory. Okay, if you have that, you don't need to go this way. You kind of just, you can fall down at the bottom if you want, and then I'll show you where to go. But if for those of you who may not have that for whatever reason, I'll show you where you got to go. So stand up here. You want to do a run and jump over to this section right here, and then make your way over, and you see that explosion, like that flash, right? And then you hear, it sounds like a stone hit the ground. All right, well, I'll explain what that is here in a little bit. It'll make more sense if I tell you later. Just accept that that happened, and then continue through this section. All right, so now it's time for a fairly tricky jump. Not too tricky, really. Just you want to line yourself up to the right a little bit for the corner of this tile and grab this ledge, and then pull yourself up to claim this water bucket. Now the water bucket is actually claimed to be the small water skin, so you only need at least one water skin to get through this. You don't need both of them. So if you already have this one, you don't necessarily need this one, and if you would like, you can go ahead and just fall down now. Now this way, I'm afraid I'm going to take some damage, but let me shimmy over to the right. There we go. Okay, now, coming down here, if you had the large water skin, then you probably came down here ignoring the fact that you needed to go get the other thing. That's fine. There's not a whole lot of stuff around here. I'll point out some of the major things. First of all, over here you'll see this hand sticking out, and I like to call that the ball cupper. So we're gonna be putting some balls in the ball cupper here before too long. But one thing that we need to also be aware of is that that's there. We don't want to forget that that's there, unless you already know the secret. But we'll continue on. Okay, so you see this gnome right there. All right, now he's working or whatever. He's like a little garden gnome. Well, as we approach him, watch what happens to him. He turns to stone, and then he leaves behind whatever he was working with. So that's pretty interesting. It looks like these guys are kind of turning to stone as I get close to them. Another thing to take note of is this little staff right here with this mermaid, okay? We're not going to end up doing much with it. I'll explain what that is for when the time comes. All right, so here we go. And I picked up a ball. Unfortunately, it is not for this cupper. We got to go use this somewhere else. So we got a metal ball that we're going to use later, and that implies that there's another one. I can't use it on that one. Okay, a couple of other things to take note of is this right here. We got a gate, and then we also have this receptacle, and if you notice at the top of this thing, it has the shape of a 4-leaf clover. Okay, let's move on. A couple of other things. There's a boulder right there kind of blocking an entrance, and there's also a boulder right here. Now, this one kind of took me a hot second to realize what I needed to do, but you can actually move these. These count as movable boxes, so we can move them out of the way in order to get access to places. So this one I want to open up just to show you what's going on in here. We have a math equation, okay, and it's just a bunch of funny symbols that ultimately lead to a 4-leaf clover. We're going to get some clarification as to what this means here in a little bit. And then we also have this pressure plate that we can stand on. It's going to turn those gears, but not much else is going to happen. All right, so let's go solve this puzzle. The idea is to solve the puzzle. All right, so yeah, it's a nice thing to actually push that boulder out, because I did find a bug where you get trapped, and I'll explain to you what that is in case you encounter it. All right, so here's this boulder. Let's go ahead and push this out of the way. It's going to give us access to this little cave, and as you run through here, there's really not... It looks like there's a fork in the road, right? I can go left or right, but they ultimately lead to the same place. Like this, there's nothing over here, okay? And then, you know, I have to go this way, which would be the same way as the other way anyway. way. All right, so I approached this guy, and he flashed, turned to stone, and he dropped this thing. Let's take a look at what I have in my inventory now. I have this water skin. I have 2 water skins. I have the seed. I have this metal ball that's... Also, take note that that is a silver metal ball. And that's about it. That's about all that I picked up so far. And yeah, so there's not much over here. The camera angle won't let you get rid of it. And then we got to crouch through here. And you can use the crouch sprint combination in order to dash while you're crouched. And then turn to the left and pull up. And we'll find this exit right here. And then we will see that there is a couple of things right here. We got a gate, we got a wheel, and we got a ball cupper. All right, so we want to You don't necessarily need to do this, but it's a good thing that you do in case you fall off. You can quickly come back up, because what this does is it raises that golden grate down there so you can hop back up here in case you fall off. If you don't do that, then if you fall off, you don't get the things you need while you're up here, then you got to go all the way back around. So let's go ahead and just raise the thing. All right, so the metal ball will go in this ball cupper here. So just plop that thing down in there and then run into the gate that opens, and we'll find this chest. Let's go ahead and open the chest, and this is what's going to reveal the secrets of that puzzle that we saw. You see those weird shapes, but it actually gives you some information. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. So we can sit here and you can memorize, or you can take it with you and look at it later, whatever. But some of the important things are, in the upper left you see the word wind, and then you have a symbol next to it. Lower left you see the word water, and then a symbol next to that. And they are different, okay? They definitely have different stuff going on here. And then the other couple here on the right side, the last two on the right side at the bottom, you have rain and you have flower, okay? So those are the important ones for this puzzle. Let me go ahead and put this away, and then let's go ahead and head over here, and we'll see this this note here. And basically it's just telling you a little bit about what's going on with these dwarves too. So it says to please close the classroom on your way out, and be aware of flying fairies in case of emergency. Turn into stone or run to the amulet. We ran out of shamrocks. Use the machine to breed them. Excuse me. The first one who finds the 4-leaf shamrock will get a prize. Use the detector if you can't find it on your own. It would be great if someone could catch a wind fairy and put it into the machine so it will get enough steam. Any volunteers? The prize is a bunch of stuff. And there you go. Take what you need. And let's get out of here. All right, so everything that you need is right here in order to complete this puzzle. A little bit of background. It told you why those dwarves are turning to stone on you. So, yeah, but over here you'll find a net, you'll find another metal ball, and you'll find a jar. Okay, so these 3 things are critical. Well, actually, just 2 of the things are critical. This metal ball is not actually necessary to get through this, okay? What you need is the empty jar, and you need this net. If we combine these 2 things, we'll get to catch a fairy. Okay, so that should be a hint. All right. Now we could go back to the machine and see what's going on with it. Look at the symbols, but I'll just go ahead and tell you what you need to know, or you can skip ahead if you don't want to know, because I got to go do it anyway. But okay, so far I could water. I have water skins, so I need to fill them with water. I have the seeds, right? That's what the flower is, right? Because the seeds make flour. So I'm missing the rain and the wind. Well, we'll see how we get that here in a little bit, but wind and rain, let's keep those things in our head at this moment. As we walk through here, we'll fall off, and then right here is the puddle. Sweet, let's go ahead and use our water skin. It doesn't matter which one you want to use. Let's go ahead and just use this one, I guess. Fill it with water, and then listen. You hear that wind, right? That's the wind that we need to get, and if we approach this over here, it gets stronger and stronger. So this is the idea, is that it's a hidden little crawl space right here. Let's make our way through this thing all the way to the end, and we'll find something interesting here. Right here. So there's a fairy just flying around, so we gotta grab that thing. It's the one that's gonna give us the wind we need, right? So let's use to catch a fairy on this. We gotta stand on a weird tile, and I'll show you where that's at here in a little bit.
Skall då jag för evigt brinna? Min lidelse så min lidelse så ständigt leva utan kvinna.
All right, well, after that great display of dancing, she catches the fairy and puts it in the jar. I'm not sure exactly how she was able to catch that fairy, just waving that net around like that. I guess, you know, as long as she's waving it around, her chances of catching it aren't 0, but probably took her a while. All right, so let's go ahead and leave. and let's we got basically, don't forget to pick up the jar. And by the way, I should mention where I stood. I meant to say it when I came in here originally. I'm looking for this plant right here, this bright green plant, and it's on the tile that you need to stand on in order to use. Basically, if you use the net on that plant, it will work fine. So, all right, let's get out of here. Now that we have the fairy, which, by the way, is a jar with an angry fairy in it. And that's apparently going to be the source of our wind. Pretty interesting, right? So we have almost everything. We have the seed, which is the flower. We have the fairy, which is the wind. And we have the water skin filled with water, which is the water. So one thing we're missing is rain. So let's go back and see what's up. With let's go take a look at our puzzle here. By the way, going through here just leads us right back to the other place, and then we can run and jump over to here. Now, before I go down there, this is where we need to use everything, okay? So that right there, you can see on the pedestal is the symbol for wind. So we got to take our jar with an angry fairy and use it on this portion of the pedestal. We energize the thing, and then we go over here and we use the seed on the flower symbol. And then right here, we need to use the water skin. Now, pressing action won't bring it up for you. You have to select it from your inventory. Bam. Okay. So, yeah, that we got all these things in here. And that's essentially all we need to do. But I do want to explain a little bit how the puzzle comes together. And another thing I want to explain is there's an ability to get caught here. Okay. So if I hadn't moved the boulder out of the way of the entrance, if I grab and I hang here and then I fall, I can actually fall through that boulder and I would get stuck. So there is a potential for getting stuck here. Just be careful. Make sure the boulder's out of the way or find another way down. Okay, so here's the puzzle right here. It says that the water plus the wind equals the rain. So as long as I have those two things, I'm covered. So then it says the flower plus the rain equals the 4-leaf clover. So I have all of that. I have everything. Let's go ahead and press the button and see what happens. Yeah, just be glad you're not underneath that thing, right? That fairy, you can hear her kind of screaming and moving around. She actually became a spirit now, and she hates you, right? She's angry. You trapped her in a jar, and she wants to, kill you or whatever. All right, so now we have to kind of pull from our previous memory and, kind of come over here to this statue, this little thing that's sticking out of the ground. That's her totem. She'll go there, and that's what she'll use to perish herself. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, now what we're doing right now is basically waiting, right? It's raining. We saw the seed flying everywhere, and bam, the ground is now covered with clover. Okay, with clovers, or whatever the plural is for that. We are looking for a 4-leaf clover. All right, out of all this stuff, good luck. Okay, so go find a 4-leaf clover. No, I'm kidding. There's actually an easy way to figure it out. Okay, it'd actually be really difficult to find. I'll tell you right now. It's on the screen. I can see it somewhere on the screen. Okay, I'm not going to point out where it's at, but just know that it's there if you want to try to sit there and look for it. Anyway, what we can do is we can use the metal ball on this ball cupper. And this is going to give us a hint. We got this little explosion, and now we have an arrow pointing down directly at the 4-leaf clover. It should be somewhat more obvious now that we have an arrow pointing directly at the thing. So if you can look right between Lara's legs, there it is. So let's pick that thing up and then go over here and use it in this this receptacle right here. So we did all this for a shamrock. All right. There you go. Throw it in the thing, and then the door's open, and now we're in this little cave, and we're pretty close to done. This is, like I said, a really short demo. We're just looking for this ladder right here. Let's jump and grab this thing. Let's pull ourselves up. We can probably make a little bit of headway if we do a backflip off of that slope and make our way to the top. Now, you want to go to the left to get off this thing. Yeah, this wall kind of stands out, so it's like all colorful to kind of say, hey, yeah, I'm a ladder, climb me. Now there is this other area over here which you can easily jump into. I went over there, I couldn't find anything, so I don't think it's for anything, at least not for this one. Let's do a run and jump and grab this one, and then we'll take ourselves up to the top. Now I actually looked for Magic Garden on TRLE.net. I couldn't find it, so I'm not sure if it even exists. There was a Magic Garden, but it seemed to be something else. Maybe I'm mistaken. I didn't actually play it. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I don't think so, though. Anyway, I don't know if this TRLE actually exists, so if you want to play it, I'm sorry. I don't have a link for you. Otherwise, I would have put it in the description. If you have a link to this game, please provide it to me in the comments, and I'll be sure to post it in the description. Okay, here, seemingly a dead end. All you gotta do is turn around and you'll find a ledge right up over here. And let's go ahead and, yeah. Stop messing up and let's grab this thing, pull ourselves up. There we go. And let's go over here and we'll find this pickup. Now this castle, this is the end of this level. You pick it up, you get a flyby, and that's gonna end this video, so... So naturally a flyby, right? And we're gonna get a glimpse. By the way, that castle kind of looks a little familiar, I guess, right? And we're gonna get a glimpse into something else interesting. Oh, that looks familiar too, if you remember the Magic Infinity level. That's Morgana's power manifest. So yeah, that's interesting. And then let's see what happens before I end this video. Let's see what happens. Okay. All of a sudden a flash, and then boom, we're right back to something else that looks familiar, guys. Alright, a bunch of text here. You can pause the video and read this if you want. I'll go ahead and get past it just so I can kind of look around and, you know, be like, wait, where am I? Well, if you've watched the series, this should look somewhat familiar, at least, you know, kind of recollective of something that we've seen before, and I'll cover this more in the next video. Alright guys, I'm Badass Games, and I'll see you guys next time. We're not done with King Arthur Project, apparently. Take it easy.